First of all, I want to thank LeverX for the opportunity to speak. This is an easy story to tell because it touches almost everyone's lives. Everyone knows someone with a chronic disease. You're talking multiple myeloma, Crohn's disease, rheumatoid arthritis, anything that requires an IV is usually a chronic disease. I have a story where our best friend's child has Crohn's disease. His parents have to pull him out of school once a month to get infusions. These are 6-hour infusions. They have to take time off work. Their child misses school. They go down to the infusion clinic, and sometimes the chair is double booked, so they have to reschedule the appointment. Sometimes the doctor can't get a vein. They're sticking them 4, 5, 6 times. They have to reschedule. So what you're going to find interesting about our product is we're giving people their lives back. That's what gets me out of bed every night, every day, and that is our mission of our company, is to get this product out in the market for as many people as possible and give them a little piece of their life back. So what I'd like to show next is a little video that sort of sums up our technology, and then we can go from there. Right, so this device, it's non-intimidating. It looks like a toy. It's fun. I mean, people actually want to be injected. That's how fun it is. We have cases where patients are being injected with their drug, and they think the device is not even working. I mean, that compared to an IV is life-changing. I think what's important to point out is when we started the business, our focus was to do this at home. At home is obviously the home run, and a lot of folks didn't really understand until the pandemic hit. Once the pandemic hit, people realized we don't want to be in the hospital, right? So the light bulb went on, and they finally started getting the concept. But what's beautiful about our device is we coined the term anywhere care. You can do it anywhere. You can do it in a clinic. You can do it at a Walgreens. You can do it at home. The doctors, when you're getting an infusion, there's limited nurses, there's limited chair time. With our device, you don't need a chair, you don't need a nurse. You could have a receptionist slap this on. You could go in a coffee shop. 5, 6, 8 people could be doing this at the same time. And then you take it off and you go on your way. We're business to business, so what we do is we actually build the device specific for a drug with a pharmaceutical partner. They can then brand the device to name it whatever they want. The challenge here is, as we heard earlier, it takes 4 to 5 years to develop these drugs and get them to market. Some fail, some don't fail. What's important to point out is we've been in business since 2010. We signed our first deal in 2014. I was hired in 2015. We had about 10 employees. Today we have over 200 employees. We have invested over, we've raised over $330 million in financing, another $130 million in pharma revenue, and our pharma partners have invested over $500 million in clinical trials to get this to market. So it's been a long time coming, 14 years and over $1 billion in investments. This just shows some of our key inflection points over our journey, and again, the amount of capital and time to develop this product. The barrier to market is very tough. Now, there is competition coming because it's almost $1 trillion market for biologics. Our claim to fame is that we can do anywhere from 5 ml to 25 ml, and we have clinical trials, people using 4 devices at one time, injecting over 100 ml. The doctors didn't even believe that you can inject that much drug. Most of the competition today is in the smaller 5 to 10 ml. There really is no competition in the 10 to 25 ml. So we're ahead of the curve. We have signed 7 drug partners, and we have 9 deals. And I'm excited to say we finally got FDA approval in 2023. That's how long it did take. And it was with a pharmaceutical company by the name of Apellis. Apellis was a small startup out of Louisville, Kentucky. It was 3 guys that came up with developing the drug as they were in college. Apellis branded the device the Empaveli injector because Empaveli is actually the drug that is being used. And it's for a drug called PNH. What is PNH? PNH is a blood disease. It's a small orphan disease. There's only about 200 patients in the United States that have this disease and about another 100 worldwide. If you don't treat it, it could be life-threatening. It does cause anemia. It causes blood clots, etc. So Apellis thought it was going to take 6-8 months to get these kind of results. And in 16 weeks, 74% of their current patients switched from a pump, which this pump is about this large. It has 4 tubes that go into your abdomen. You have to sit in a chair as you administer. It causes pain. It causes leakage. It was a no-brainer. Everybody started switching, and now every new patient is coming onto our device. 2024, another exciting year for Enable. We're busting at the seams at our headquarters. It's a 40,000 square foot facility. We just secured another 90,000 square feet, and this will be our center of manufacturing excellence. In addition to that, we've received a ton of support from the state of Ohio and the localities. We've secured over $10 million in incentives to help scale our manufacturing. This gives everyone a small visual of our 4 facilities. The one on the left is our corporate headquarters today, and that's where we are doing our manufacturing. We're going to build out our Springdale facility over the next 3 years, and then we will keep light manufacturing in Evendale because the pharma partners want business redundancy in case something happens to one of the facilities. And you can imagine their drugs are billion-dollar drugs, and they want to make sure that they're secure. Our manufacturing capabilities. Today we have one hybrid line. We can do up to 1 million devices per year. And by 27, 28, we're going to replicate and introduce semi-automation to full automation. We'll be able to do over 4 million devices a year. And you can imagine some of these drugs require 1 million devices a year. So the business can get big, and it can get big really quick. So we need time to scale. The benefit here is from the time you sign a deal to the time that you develop a drug, it's usually 4 to 5 years, and then another 4 years to scale manufacturing to get to peak devices. So we have plenty of time to scale our manufacturing, and it takes roughly 24 months to build a line doing about 1.5 million devices per year. So the next video is, it's a testimony by a woman whose husband has multiple myeloma. Multiple myeloma is a blood cancer that really affects your bone marrow. We had a company luncheon, and she came out and talked about all the challenges that her family is experiencing with multiple myeloma. It's a long video. The quality's not the greatest, so I'm only going to play a couple minutes just so everyone can get a flavor of what she's going through, and then I'll sum it up after that.
Hi everyone, my name is Kripke Gabanda, and I stand before you today, a smiling face, a wife, and a caregiver who has walked the path alongside my husband as he battled for his life. My husband was diagnosed with a rare blood disease, and for 18 months, our lives revolved around chemotherapy infusions. These chemotherapy infusions would last about 2 to 3 hours each time, and sometimes multiple times a week. Were physically and emotionally taxing, not just for him, but for our entire family as well. The cancer patient that's undergoing treatment is battling for their life, but the caregiver has to watch it all, suppress any negative feelings, and slap a smile on their face for their loved one. So I smiled. I smiled through it all. Despite the sterile, cold environment we were subjected to, week after week, month after month. The journey began each week with a 35-minute car ride to the infusion center, coupled with a 2-hour drive monthly to the James Center at OSU.
So I think everyone gets the point, right? Just the time, what it does to a family, how it drains them. You know, at the end of her speech, she basically said, keep doing what you're doing. You know, your mission is right on. The amount of people and the lives you're going to touch, very inspirational. And I can tell you, we've heard thousands of testimonies over the last 10 years. Mothers crying, my son can finally go to college. I don't have to take time off work. I don't have to sit in a cold infusion clinic. I just want to, this is 7 minutes of our lives, but thousands and thousands of these, we can't get this product to patients quick enough. And again, that's our mission, and that's what, again, gets me out of bed every day. So how has SAP helped in this journey? We were one of the earliest adopters of SAP for our size business. You know, you can imagine signing our first deal in 14. In 17, we did not have a lot of money. We did not have a lot of resources, but we knew we were going to get big. We knew we were going to get big quick, and we knew we needed to scale our business in a highly regulated FDA environment. So the thing we didn't want to do is purchase a middle market ERP system that we're going to have to turn around and switch out a couple years down the road. Also, a lot of the middle markets don't have the best practices that SAP has built in. In addition to that, you know, SAP now has a beautiful phased approach. And this phased approach allows you to bring on the modules as you need them, and you can invest the capital when you have it and deploy the resources when you have them on your team. That's exactly what we did, and we also heard from our pharmaceutical companies loud and clear, what ERP system do you have? When we told them SAP, they were very pleased and happy because, again, billion-dollar drugs, they want to make sure they're protected. They want to make sure that they have part traceability if there's recall issues, logistic challenges. Plus, 85% of all pharmaceuticals use SAP, so it's easy to have the two systems talk to each other. So that is why we chose SAP, and this just gives you a little roadmap of what we've done over the years. In 2017, we brought up FICO, finance costing. Then we moved into production planning, material management. Soon to follow, quality management, plant maintenance, PLM. LeverX has been a great partner for the past 8 years. They've helped us in not only PLM, but IPS ticketing, a lot of the logistics, quality. They are truly a great partner for us. Let's fast forward to 2020. COVID hits. We had the foresight to implement early, so we really did not miss a beat. Since we were an essential business, our manufacturing continued to run. Some of the administrative functions did move home. You're talking about the finance, some of the IT functions. We were still able to close the books on time. We were able to cut checks. We were able to receive cash. Logistics and production, they were able to build product, order product, ship product. I was actually able to raise money at my kitchen table. The exciting part was we actually came out of COVID better than when we went into COVID. We were better capitalized, and we learned from what we had to do in case of a pandemic. So when you get into the 21, 22, 23 time frame, this is where we're starting to optimize our modules. So when we started in 2017, we thought we were going to launch with a very large partner, over 1 million devices. We got one phone call. That got delayed multiple years. This is the challenge you have with pharmaceutical companies. This is the challenge you have with managing your cash. That was actually a blessing in disguise because we would have probably not been ready to scale at 1 million devices a year, and our SAP systems were not optimized. You can imagine in a small startup, a lot of people like to use paper. You have a lot of young folks that don't even know what ERP stands for. They think, okay, this is a finance system. Why do I need to worry about this? So it took a lot of education, and over the years, a lot of executive and management support to appreciate and realize that we have the Cadillac of all systems. You know, a lot of people that are familiar with SAP, especially the people that work for me in SAP, they come in, they're like, oh my God, you have everything. You have S/4HANA, you have SuccessFactors, you have LMS, you have PLM, you have ECTR. I mean, what can I ask for? And it's like, I wish everyone would appreciate the investments we've made and how do we utilize that. And now we're finally seeing it, and we can't bring the modules on quick enough because everybody wants it and they want it yesterday. We're really focused a lot on SAP Analytics and SAC today. We're going to be doing our budgeting in 25 in SAC, and we have an initiative to sit with every functional area and outline a dashboard that will help them run their business. When they come in every morning, they can pull up their dashboard, they can make quick decisions, they can drill down to the transaction level in SAP. Another thing that is very important to me, and I've done this at several companies, and it's not the easiest thing to do, but they have one system, and try to hold on to that one system as long as possible. Because I've been in companies that you have 5, 6, 8 different systems, and you're running reports in all different systems. So we've been fortunate to keep one system. Not that I've not had the challenges, because people are a product of their experiences, and everybody wants to come in and change the system or put in a different system. We also just hired a person in SAP for GLC. So we are actively implementing security roles and responsibilities as we continue to move towards this commercial business. And then to the right, you can see some of the other things: warehouse management, electronic DMR, etc. So what's up next for Enable? Was a long time coming, FDA approval. Pharmaceutical companies, they all want to be first to be second. So once we got the FDA approval, they're lining up and they're more comfortable that the product's working in the market. People are, it's painless and they're loving the technology, so they're willing to invest. We plan on getting CE mark by the end of this year or early next year, so we'll be moving into Europe. We continue to educate with peer publications because, believe it or not, as I said before, some of the doctors do not even understand the benefits of injecting in the sub-Q space versus an IV. And you can actually take the drug from IV and put it right into our device, where what a lot of the pharma companies are doing is they're trying to reformulate their drug to get it down into an auto-injector, because auto-injectors are pennies on the dollar, and don't get me wrong, they're very, very painful. They're quick sticks in the thigh or the stomach, but they're investing that money because they don't know any better. So we continue to educate them on the value proposition that we bring from a sub-Q opportunity. And then we got some really exciting key clinical trials coming up. Sanofi's Sarclisa, which is a drug to treat multiple myeloma. It's going to be a competitor to Janssen's Darzalex, which is the #1 treatment for multiple myeloma today. And I can tell you it's injected with a needle about that long, that a nurse sits in a chair and pushes it into someone's abdomen for 5 minutes. $16 billion market. We feel like we can take a decent part of this market share with our product, and patients, again, being able to use this anywhere, anytime with very little pain. And then we have another partner that is soon to have a clinical readout in Q1, and So still exciting things to come, and we're going to continue to build this business to be a multi-billion-dollar revenue business. So that concludes my speech, and I look forward to continuing to advance this technology. So thank you.